Good morning, everybody. Today I am a little bit out of bounds as I find myself in Cape May, New Jersey. So I was down the shore this weekend and I heard there's an old World War II bunker down here. So I thought that might be kind of cool to check out. And for today's adventure, I am with Tony and Debbie. Come on, Deb, let's check it out. So Tony's way well ahead of me, and I heard him calling me over. So, oh my gosh, there it is. Just sitting out on the beach. So Tony was just telling me, it looks like there's somebody else doing a video over there, so maybe this will be a collaboration that didn't necessarily start out to be a collaboration. So Tony, you were telling me at one time, this bunker that we are approaching, you couldn't see it, right, Tony?
It was covered with sod, it said.
It was covered with sod. Well, that makes sense, right? They would keep it hidden.
That's erosion.
But all of that eroded, and I kind of thought I saw old pictures where it was up on, maybe I'm confusing it with something, that must be something else.
Yeah, but then I think the tide comes in, it's surrounded by water.
And when the tide comes in, it's surrounded by water. So, as I mentioned, there was somebody else talking into a camera. They are walking away now, so either they're done, or I'm thinking they probably are doing a video, but probably one on Cape May, because they didn't stay at the bunker for very long. As we approach this pretty cool looking bunker. It says keep off, but I don't see keep out. I'm really hoping we can get inside. I did bring a flashlight, so we'll see. So just a little quick information. This World War II bunker on the beach in Cape May Point is known as Battery 223. It is a reinforced concrete structure from 1942 to 1943 that housed two 6-inch guns to defend the coast. Pretty cool. I'm hoping that we can find out where the guns were positioned. I seriously doubt the guns are there, but possibly maybe the gun mounts. So if you were to come down here in 1943, you wouldn't see this because it was all covered up with moss and sod, and the beach has eroded since when this was built. It's so cool to see that there's remains. You know, I saw some bunkers out in, what was that, Elvira, Pennsylvania, where it was like a munitions bunkers, right, Tony? Yeah, but this was to guard the coast, and I almost believe it was, from what I was reading, it was to guard Fort Myers in Delaware, right?
Yeah.
So Cape May is, I don't know if I'm describing, but Cape May is at the bottom of New Jersey. It's the very tip of New Jersey. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, it's so cool to picture that at one time, I mean, we were fortunate enough in this country that, you know, we were separated by the Atlantic Ocean from everything else that was going on.
Yeah, they blocked.
There was always a threat, I suppose, that the Germans, in fact, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe German submarines were spotted at one time off the coast of New Jersey. German submarines, right? U-boats, I guess they would call them. All right, so here we have a hole. And Tony, look at this. This was actually a door, right? You can still see the old...
Oh, yeah, they blocked it off.
This was...
They blocked all the entrances off.
What do you mean they blocked them?
They put block cement block.
Yeah, but what was this? This probably was the way the
Yeah.
soldiers would enter.
Nothing killed me.
Correct?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, you got like, I don't want to say hinges. I guess they're hinges, right?
Yeah. Well, that
But
was
there
probably-
must have been like a huge
It was
metal,
a big metal double.
solid door. And I think these walls are all 6 inches thick. 6 or 7 inches thick.
Right there, that looks more than 6 inches.
It would have to be a bunker, right?
What's in there, Jim? Just
Oh, wow.
yeah. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay, well, somebody's in here drinking beer.
Yeah, that's probably. Then they blocked it up.
And then these rocks.
But somebody broke through the block wall.
It is protected as a National Register of Historic.
All right, so we were just reading. This is on the National Historic Registry. But I believe there's no plans to do anything. It's just being left out here because I think it would be too expensive to
Well, they just,
preserve it. No, I think it has something to do with the beach erosion.
Yeah, the ocean has eroded the shoreline, exposed.
All right, so please stay there in case I have to yell for help. All right, so wow, this is so cool. Hopefully there's nobody else in here. Still see the electric up here. That would have been, I suppose, a light bulb. It's kind of spooky, right? Wow. Just watch where I'm stepping. But, I mean, look at all these different compartments. Oh God. So I kind of wish Tony came in with me because, to be honest with you, this is spooky. Very scary. I mean, you have all these different compartments. So maybe they kept munitions in here? I'm not really sure. And I'm almost afraid to wander too far. So just to give you an idea, I have the flashlight shining there. Look what it looks like when I turn the flashlight. It's total darkness. So God forbid my flashlight were to die. And there's so many different rooms you can enter into. Look at that. So I got to remember, head back this way and turn left. Because it's kind of like a maze in here. And there's some nasty graffiti, so, I mean, there's not much I can do about that, so. Not gonna shine my light on anything for too long because it's pretty nasty stuff. That's kind of gross. Look at the old, there's still some old, I don't know what that is over there, but there's like it almost looks like an old bed frame over there in the corner. Hopefully you can see that. I can't really point because I have my flashlight. All right, so that's the one side. Look at these two old doors. They still open and close. Wouldn't want to get stuck in there. All right, so I'm gonna head back this way. Make sure that I keep my bearings about me as far as how to get out of here. All right, so there, I see the light coming from that direction. Oh, and it looks like there must be an entrance over here too, because I do see some sunlight coming through on this side. Got an old electric box here. I can hear you, Tony. And there's an entrance over here too. Actually, Tony, it's really cool. I know you. I don't want you stepping in here, but it's really cool. I was just yelling out to Tony. It's so cool in here. So I kind of wanted him to come in, but he's got a bad knee, so I really didn't want. The entrance was not real easy to get in. Tony's asking about the stones at the entrance. Yeah, they probably piled them there. Just, I don't know why. I mean, it's pretty easy to get in here. Just so many little rooms like this. So, you know, I'm going to do some research and I'll be putting some notes on the video, but I just kind of wanted to walk around a little bit. I almost want to get to the other side too. I mean, I guess you can't really get lost in here, but it feels like you can. It's just really scary when I look down these little hallways. And you do have to be careful because look, if you don't have a really good flashlight, you step in there, you could really mess your leg up. I don't know what this is. This is so heavy. It's like a concrete. It must have been a door on something at one time. All right, so I'm back here again, and this comes to a dead end, and I don't think. Now there's a lot more to it than what we covered. So unless there's an entrance on the other side, I don't know how we're going to get to the other side. Yeah, these are all blocked off, so there must be like a dividing wall. And I'm thinking we're not going to find pictures of this when it was in operation, because I'm assuming it was, you know, it was during the war and it was top secret. So now I'm going to head out, try to walk to the other side of the bunker and see if there's an entrance over there maybe. All right, so I am back outside. I am going to head over this direction because if you remember, we walked straight back and there were all these rooms to the right. I don't know, maybe we did see the whole thing, the whole inside. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think I did, and I don't know if there's a way in as well. So anyway, I'm gonna walk around just to kind of check it out. So here again are the old, I want to say like door hinges, I guess. So this was probably an opening at one time. I am curious where the guns were mounted. I'm assuming they were mounted on top. That would make the most sense, right? Just wandering around. I'm not so sure we saw the whole thing. We may have, but I just want to see if maybe there's another little opening or entrance. All right, so there's the other entrance, but we walked to that. So I actually do think we saw the entire inside.
From one end to the other.
It's not huge,
But you should.
but it's
Here
impressive.
you can see how it's falling apart if you walk along the front.
What, Tony?
You can see how it's falling apart.
Oh, it's all crumbling. I'm trying to figure out where the guns would have been mounted. They would have been mounted on the top.
I'm guessing.
I mean, it would be very cool if you could get on the top, but I don't think that's going to happen. You can't get to the top from the inside.
Should have binoculars.
Yeah, so Tony said get up in the lighthouse and look. So you may see in the background, there is a huge lighthouse over there. And I also think, which we might be able to find, I believe there was a tower built that was in communication with the bunker, and the tower would look off into the Atlantic. Yeah, I mean, there's a tower somewhere, so maybe we'll find that as well. But okay, so I'm gonna guess, see that platform there? There was probably a gun mounted right there because, right, I mean, this probably sounds so obvious, but it's aimed right out at the Atlantic Ocean, right? So you just picture them sitting up here, keeping their eye out. I'm sure it was a very scary time in 1943, right?
See how all this stuff's falling off the front. It gets battered the most, I'm sure.
So as I mentioned before, it is on the National Historic Registry, but I was reading that it doesn't look like they're going to do anything. They're just going to kind of leave it out here because I guess it's falling apart, it's crumbling. You can see the old concrete, and then you have chunks of the concrete right down here that are falling off.
You remember watching?
You know, Tony, I'm wondering, and maybe this is silly, but maybe this concrete, maybe there was like sort of a ledge kind of coming off the top, maybe, and maybe they knocked it down because it would be very dangerous, danger hazard. Because I don't know why it would crumble like that.
But
like there might have been a platform that you could walk out on. Maybe, yes.
With a railing.
Possibly. I'm kind of thinking probably.
Yeah, you can see the big, like a little beam concrete things there. They might have helped.
These right here?
No, up there. See the little square things that jut out?
Yes.
There might
The
have
concrete.
been,
So I think there probably was some type of a platform. And then you got those, they probably held support systems, right? That old iron, probably there was some iron. So there was most likely some sort of a platform there. And I'm thinking it started crumbling and they maybe sped up the crumbling because it would be dangerous.
Yeah, over there, same
But
thing.
that's probably what these remnants of concrete are. At least that's what we are thinking. You see what I'm talking about? These right here probably supported beams that maybe supported some type of a platform at one time. And you can just imagine. So I would assume they would be Navy, right? That would be guarding the coast, or Coast Guard. Probably Coast Guard. Who knows? During World War II, or maybe Marine. I don't know. I guess I just don't know. Debbie found a conch shell.
It's broken.
It's not 100% complete, but it's pretty cool for finding that in Jersey because usually everything's picked over. From this side, right? I would keep it.
And look at all these.
Look at that. Debbie is finding beauty. Oh, you got a scallop shell. Is that what you think that's
so.
scallops? I think so too. I think so. I have to tell you, it feels so good being down the shore. I used to come down the shore like all the time in the summer, several times. I haven't been down here in probably, I think maybe like 3 years. And I don't know what took me so long to get down here this year, because it's, actually I'm making this video on Labor Day weekend, so Okay, so we have some type of a pipe. I don't know how old this is, but I don't think this has anything to do with the bunker. So as I probably mentioned before, this bunker is known as Battery 223. It is a concrete coastal defense structure that was built in 1943 to protect the Delaware Bay. It was built to house 2 6-inch guns. It was part of a larger network of defenses. So just looking at the bunker again, I know I had mentioned it was originally camouflaged. So it was originally camouflaged with sod, and it was 900 feet inland, but coastal erosion has since exposed and threatened the bunker, which now sits on the beach, as we can plainly see. So the 2 6-inch guns, from what I was reading, were capable of firing 9 to 12 miles. So the main purpose for this being built was to guard against, which may be obvious, the German U-boats. So as I might have mentioned earlier, this bunker worked in conjunction with a fire control tower. It's a 100-foot tower that was also built for naval defense to spot the targets and was used to aim the guns. So I kind of believe that tower is still in existence, so I might try to get to it. But you would think I would see it from here, and I don't. All I see is that lighthouse. I don't know, so maybe we'll see it when we get back in the car. All right, so we found the control tower. There it is. Okay, so this tower is the tower I was talking about that worked in conjunction with the bunker we saw on the beach. I believe it is a 6-floor tower. This shows where the gun was, so now maybe we can kind of line that up with where we were. And you see there is like a little platform that comes out. From 1940 to 1945, Cape May was bustling with military activity. Army, Navy, and Coast Guard all had bases in the area. So it's actually one of 15 fire control towers that were built for Fort Miles 11 on the Delaware side. And this says that the tower was one of 15 fire control towers that were built for Fort Miles. 11 of them are on the Delaware side and 4 here in New Jersey. So I don't know if this is the only one that's still standing. Okay, Tony just said yes. So this is the only one that is still standing. So Tony, if there were 15 of them, would that tell us that there were 15
No, they were
bunkers as well? Or no, maybe they were used as fire towers.
To sight.
Oh,
and then
right.
to aim the aim.
And here you can see the lights. Now, you think these are still the original lights, or is this no?
They look very modern.
No, they do look modern.
That's just they light this up at night, probably.
They light it up at night, no doubt. So I think I was saying earlier, not sure we're going to climb it because we're sort of pressed for time. But then as I'm looking at it, it's only 6 floors, so I would think it shouldn't take that long. But then I just noticed it's not even open. A little all veterans memorial. This eternal flame honors not only the veterans of World War II of the Cape May area, but also all area veterans who have nobly carried forth the torch defending our nation. Not sure. Wait. So as you can see, there's a stairway you would take up. Kind of reminds me of Bowman's Tower, but I think it's not as high as Bowman's Tower, a lot lower. So if you're interested in visiting, Tony just mentioned that you can buy a combo ticket for $18 where you can visit here, which I believe there's a museum. I don't know if the museum's in there, but I believe you can kind of get some information on it. There's usually somebody up there. But anyway, a combination $18 where you can climb up this tower, get some exciting information, and then you can also climb the old lighthouse, which I was reading about that. I may come back if I'm down the Jersey Shore again. I might do a video specifically about the lighthouse, because I think there was a lighthouse there as early as like the 1820s or 30s. I
think 23.
And then, but the actual one that is still standing, I think was built in I believe it was 1859. Not much to see in there. It's just some brochures, but you can see steps that you would climb. So Tony, I'm going to ask my viewers something, because I'm always curious. I see cactus over there, a little bit of cactus. Now they're small, but I don't know, I never realized that cactus would be growing in New Jersey. There's a close-up of the cactus. So is it native to New Jersey, maybe in the Pinelands or maybe in these sandy areas? So this is kind of interesting. We were talking about how they had all these towers, what, 15 of them, and then the bunker on the beach. But according to this, the Army started dismantling Fort Miles before it was even finished. Not in the face of the enemy invasion, but because advances in warfare made it instantly obsolete. You can see the slits. So they would look out from the slits, or why wouldn't they just look out from the top? Oh, the slits actually look out to
They were aiming the guns, like they were giving them, I think, when they were giving them directions.
Right, because you would want the slits in case you're under air fire. Right. All right, so I think I'm just going to end my video here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you could give the video a like, it is absolutely appreciated. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Take care, everybody.